Hello, brothers and sisters. I want to share with you my two dreams about New York and Florida. Florida uh, being destroyed. Okay, so if you had a bad day, I'm about to make your day because I tried to draw this dream when I woke up. And this is what it looks like. I'm sure there's a 2 year old laughing at me like, really, you really tried it. Okay, so this is what I saw. I have this drawing, the rough draft, so that I can explain it to you, and then I have real pictures to help you get a better understanding of what I saw. So the dream started off. I saw this gigantic big red dragon. This is a dragon, right? I know. Go ahead and laugh. You had a bad day. Go ahead and laugh. But this is a dragon, and the dragon was blowing fire on the backside of New York, and the dragon wings was massive. The right wing went all the way to the end of the skyline, so you can see that I tried to draw that. And then the left wing went all the way to the other end of the skyline, and above the red dragon's head was a cross like the Son of God was right over his left shoulder. Now this dragon was sitting on the backside of New York. I'm gonna lift this higher so you can see it. And he was blowing fire. He was sweeping his head from left to right like this, blowing fire all over the back of New York. And it was to my understanding in the dream that he was trying to force New York City into the water. He was trying to force New York into the city, into the water, to flood it out. And so now that you got the gist of this, I'm going to show you some really decent pictures. That doesn't look like a kindergarten did this, but yeah, this is the dream that God gave me. Oh, I want to tell you too. I had this dream last year doing when the volcano was going off in the Canary Islands. Okay, so here we go. This is a better picture. So this is what I saw. I saw the biggest red dragon you ever did see. It covered the entire skyline of New York City. I could tell in the dream that it was New York City. Let me go back to this crappy picture because I saw skyscrapers. Every building was a skyscraper. So that's what I tried to draw. So I knew that this was New York, and this big dragon was blowing fire all over the backside of New York. And then the dream went to the front, and I could see the city was sitting off the water. It was sitting off the water like that, and the dragon was just on the back half side of it. So you see where the water is on the back of this picture, on the back of that picture back there. Imagine a dragon on the back side of that, and it's very massive, and it covers up the complete skyline. The dragon was so big, but the city from my perspective, I could not see the dragon's feet. So it appeared to me it was so massive, and it was sitting down just burning all of the back of New York City, trying to push it into the ocean. The next picture I saw, it looked like the water was round on the city, and so I tried to draw it like in a circle form like that. As you can see, I tried to draw what looks rounded to me because it looked like a round little thing, and so that's why I picked this picture, because I knew that had to be New York, sitting off the water like that. And when I saw this, I woke up, and I woke up with the scripture in my head about the rapture. I woke up with the scripture in my head about the rapture, and so I saw that that the front side of the city, the dragon was forcing it into the water, and so that the front side of the New York City was underwater while the back side of New York City burned up. Now I'm gonna give you my interpretation of the dream. I'm not Daniel, okay? I'm not the best dream interpreter, but this is what I took from the dream, because when I woke up, this scripture was in my head. This scripture was in my head. It says, this is Revelation chapter 12. And the serpent cast, okay, I don't want to read the first one, but we can though. Okay, and the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away in the flood. It says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time. And when the dragon saw that he was cast unto the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man child. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time and times and half a time from the face of the serpent. And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, meaning angry with the woman, and he went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which kept the commandments of God and have the testimony of Jesus Christ. And now, reason why I also believe that the Lord was giving me this, because the dragon is red, and the dragon in my dream was red. And so here it was telling you about the signs in heaven. I believe this is where I got that. All right, we're still in Revelations in chapter 12. It says, and there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. And she, being with child, cried, travailing in birth and pain to be delivered. And there appeared another wonder in heaven. Behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his head. Okay, so the Lord is confirming that the dragon was red. So when I woke up, that scripture was in my heart. Now I'm going to go back to this, and I'm going to tell you what I think that this means. I'm going to try to break it down, because this one was in my spirit. I believe that when the Antichrist comes onto scene, he's going to do something so devastating into New York. It is going to cause the rapture. I believe how the Antichrist is possibly going to burn the whole backside of New York City is with strategic suitcase nukes. Let's see if he put a nuke right there and a nuke right there and a nuke right there, and then they activated them. That will burn New York City. And when that much life leaves the earth, I saw the cross just over the dragon's shoulder, and I knew that that was the rapture. And that will make sense with that scripture, because when the beast sees the saints going up into the sky, he's going to be so angry. He's going to try to send a flood to keep them from going up, but God is going to take us up and snatch us up. And then those that don't go up on the first go around, the dragon is going to go, the beast is going to go make war with the saints and overcome them. Now that's what I got from that. I could be totally wrong, but that's kind of what I got from it. I got that he's going to do something when the Antichrist makes his debut on the scene and he begins to do his diabolical stuff. I do believe New York City is going to come under attack. I do believe she is going to be burned from the back, and I do believe she is going to flood from the front. How this will actually take place, I don't know, but I'm just sharing with you what was put in my spirit at the time. All right, and so the next dream I had, and I had this dream, this again around the same time when the whole thing was going off in Canary Islands. In the next dream, I was in the air and I was floating over a map of the United States. And I looked down and it was zoomed in on Florida like that. And everybody knows Florida because it has that little funny little thing. It's the only thing sticks out in the water that looks really weird like that. But in this dream, Florida, something was wrong with it. You see how the leg is coming down into the water? Well, it was broken so that it was leaning, so that the leg was leaning. Let me try to show you. The leg was leaning to the right. It's like the backside of Florida was still connected, but the front half that was touching Georgia, you see what the black dot is? It was like that part was the only part still connected. And the other part that was touching Georgia, it was like it was disconnected, so that it was just kind of dangling back and forth. And it's like the water had pushed Florida to lean and moved it out of its place, so that Florida was crooked. It was no more just pointing down straight. It was leaning more to the right, like it was curving more, almost completely sideways, but just dangling. You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to. I wish I had a better picture to show that, but I just don't. But Florida, something was wrong with it, and Florida was moved out of its place. Okay, and so then the angel zoomed into Florida like that, and it went into the city, and I could see that the city was pitch black. Okay, in this city, you could see that there was some forms of lights in the building. I just picked this picture so that you can understand what you're looking at as a city. In the vision, I understood what I was looking at was a city because I can make out the skyline of buildings, but there was absolutely no light whatsoever. Florida was completely pitch black. It was black as night. So I tried to search the internet for a black picture. And this is about as dark as I could find one. Florida was completely in utter darkness. And then all of a sudden, as the angel began to zoom in and I began to focus my eyes, I began to see little lights like this all over the backside of Florida. Not by the closest end, back by the water. It was like it was almost by the backside of the city or the state of Florida, and I understood that these little lights, they look just like fireflies, and this was the perfect picture because this is exactly what I saw. And I understood that these were souls, and that these souls was going back to God. And I saw for the state of Florida, it was not that many souls going up. It kind of looked very, very super similar to this, where the entire front half of the state closest to the Georgia state line, all of that was dark. All of that was in complete darkness. But that on the backside of it, if we go back to that first picture, and we see Florida on the state line. So all of this part of Florida that's in the water, that part was black. But when we begin to go to the back part, remember where I told you the black dot was? I don't see. I don't know why this thing won't focus. Hold on, I'm gonna try to get it to force it to focus. Anyway, you can see where the black dot was, where I told you that the state was seeming to be the last anchor that it had left to connect it. That part of the state, I could see from the back half of it, souls was going up. Souls was going up. Souls was going up out of Florida, and they was going up to heaven. And so I don't know what caused Florida to go black. That part was not shown to me. I did not see Florida underwater, so I'm not going to lie and say I saw that. I don't know what made Florida go completely black, and I don't know what caused those souls to go up to God. I just know that Florida was completely black. And so I saw these two states, and I had these dreams probably within a week apart. It probably wasn't even a week. It was probably like some days apart. Yeah, but I saw that New York was destroyed on the backside and on the front side. Then I saw that Florida was moved out of its place. It was just dangling, so to speak, like blowing in the breeze. It was barely connected. And it was slanted. It was no more facing downward, but it was more leaning toward if you see the A in Atlantic. Oh, perfect. So you see the head of the man. Now imagine the feet of Florida, this tip facing, pointing to this head of this man, and you can understand, or better yet, imagine the tip pointing over here to the edge of this tip of the yellow man, and you will understand how it was leaning in the water. It was no longer in its rightful place, and it was completely dark. And so I just wanted to share those two with you about those two states. I don't know what's going to happen to New York, but I just saw that the beast was burning it. The dragon, the serpent, was burning New York very, very heavily. And I saw that the front of it was flooded out. So the back was burned on one. So I feel like what God was trying to show me is that New York is going to have a twofold attack. On the back side of her, she's going to be burned. On the front side of her, she's going to be flooded. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys. And maybe if you are good at interpreting dreams and God give you something different, you can share it with me in the comments. But I just wanted to share that with you guys. You guys be blessed. Have a great day.